Hello, and welcome to this edition of Keep It Real America. I'm your host, Rodney L. Best, and today we're going to talk about youth, and we're going to bring some people who are involved with the youth to you. So let me introduce you to my guests, and here on my left, I have Mr. Melvin Cohen. How you doing, Melvin?
Doing great.
All right, and over here in the middle, we got Mr. Jensen Best. How you doing there, Mr. Best?
How you doing?
And I see you brought a couple of your young fellows along with you, and that's Devon there. Say hello, Devon. And Daniel.
Hi.
Great. So what we're going to attempt to do today is establish with you two what made you feel like you needed to come back and say to the youth, I can help you make a change. So Melvin, now I understand like you're a youth development specialist.
Yes.
And you're with Cowan Success.
Solutions, yes.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I mean, I came from a single parent household. My mom, we moved year after year due to evictions, mismanagement of money. She tried. Three kids, two grandkids, we're all in one house. And so, I just grew up seeing her struggle a lot. The straw that broke the camel's back for me was one night, it was the winter, and it was just really cold. And she had this concept called robbing Peter to pay Paul. And so with that being the case, so it's like, I may forego my rent to pay my utilities. And this particular month, she let go of the utilities. And so it was just really cold, and we could see our breath, when we went to sleep. And, that night I just, made a promise to myself that I would help my mom, by any means to get out of this situation. But in order to do that, I had to get an education. And so I had to tie up with organizations that were in my community that helped youth like myself get ahead. And so because of those community individuals that embraced me, and seeing the work that they put in to support me as well as my peers, that helped me to, one, go to school, helped me to get on my career path. But I feel like there's a sense of duty. I can't be the only one to make it. And so I had to reach back to bring up, my youth as well. And so the concept that I live by is a term called Sankofa, which means to reach back and bring forward what was once lost or forgotten. And what I see in the nation is our youth, they are being forgotten. And so, with my brother, here to my left, and many other advocates in the field, we're trying to go back and save our young.
That's that, man. You know what? I got stuck with Sankofa. I was like, hey, I haven't heard that in a long time.
Yeah.
That's pretty powerful. Yeah. Now, with you, Mr. Jensen Best, hey, did you notice I said Jensen Best? Yeah, let me introduce him. This is my middle son, Mr. Jensen Best, and I'm very proud of him. And he's here today with the San Leandro Lions AAU Club. And he also, Jensen, you're what? Tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I started out real early with kids, with the youth.
That's right.
In high school. I did a whole lot of camps and with my high school coach, and I volunteered with rec centers there. So I was really involved out there in Newark and the Fremont area for the first hand, and I got really into it. Just the development of the youth is very important. Right. I mean, and at an early age, I wasn't aware to how it is until now. Now I really have a real good vision of how everything could go right for the youth if we just continue all on our right paths. Yeah. It's a lot of struggle out there, I do see, but they're overcoming. You can overcome a lot, and I look for that for the youth to do. And as I went on to college, I tutored kids in college. I tutored a young girl, and she had no dad around. Her mom was on drugs, but she was very smart. And one day I didn't show up, and the next day she was like, "Where were you? Where were you, Jensen? Where were you?"
Right.
And that really opened my eyes to see that we make a difference even when we're not there.
Right.
So we I just been doing it for a long time, and when I moved back to Oakland after I graduated college, I saw that some of the same things were still happening that when I was out here. Some of the things as of you have kids that, you know, are in gangs, and I work at a middle school right now, and over there's a lot of, you know, just a lot of stuff that you know, violence and drugs, and it's just et cetera, et cetera. We live in a notorious city. And with anything I could do, as long as my man right here, we could do to help that. That's why I brought Devon and Daniel here. There are two student athletes who see that making a difference is important. You know, Daniel has been helping out with the Boys and Girls Club. Devon helps out with the kids with me here from time to time, and it works. Great. You know, it really works. And
so, you know, so now we had a chance to hear a little bit about you and a little bit about your profiles and what made it happen for you. Give me one specific thing in your childhood, in your adolescenthood, and right now in your adulthood that said, I'm gonna commit myself to getting the kids a different opportunity, to getting the kids to see that there is a change they can make in their life. Give me one thing specific. Tell me, what was that one thing that said, this is me?
Okay, so let's see. So I was a knucklehead, you know, when I was younger. And I was confronted with two choices. One was to go to a community center. The other was to go to a boot camp. Okay. I didn't want to be in a boot camp fighting, you know, every day. I'm not a big guy, right? And so I decided to go to this community center. And there I was surrounded by some courageous community leaders. Right. Yes, and some wild students that were, you know, speaking foreign languages. They were doing like African, modern, and ballet styles of dancing.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and so I was exposed to all of that. And in this center, they focused a lot on just academic preparation, you know, for college. The organization was called WESEP, the West End Community Empowerment Project. And so the folks that ran the center, they noticed some things in me. They noticed my leadership ability, the way how I was able to work with groups and like mobilize, you know, my peers and get them together to just do things. Right. And so they gave me an opportunity. They said, well, Melvin, you know, how would you like to join the board of directors? I didn't understand what that meant at the time. You know, what does it mean to be on a board of directors? And so, you know, my community leader, her name was Ms. Tanya Clark, and another, her name was Ms. Dora Hudson. They said, well, if you're on this board, you get to be a deciding factor for what programs get to come into the organization. And you can actually help to craft the programs that will exist for your peers. And so I still didn't understand what it meant until, you know, I said, yes, I'll be, you know, I'm down to do whatever. And so, you know, while being on the board of directors, you know, I was exposed to program development. I was exposed to being able to read and assess a budget and how to allocate funds. This is at 14 years old. And then I got to write my first program proposal for an organization, well, for a program that I called Black Knights. Wow. And they were for, you know, minority males, like black males, because I didn't see a lot of programs happening for us in my community. And so with this program, they gave me just a little bit of funding for it. They gave me the time and space for it. And my group, we met in this small hallway. We didn't get an office space or a classroom. Right. They said, Melvin, take your group and you guys can go in a little hallway. And so we were in the hallway, and then we started talking about just community service and ways we can give back to the community and ways that we can get more active in the program. But just seeing how like interested and engaged my peers were and how they respected me and looked up to me as a leader, I was like, whoa, like I like doing this. I love being in these positions. And so I asked for more. I asked for more opportunities, and they continue to give me those opportunities. So if you was to ask me, you know, that one moment, like that was that moment around the age of 14, making that decision, getting that opportunity. And so now, you know, I do nothing but leadership type of activities, trying to educate youth to become leaders themselves within their schools, in their communities, and in their households too. Wow. And so that was the moment for me.
Man, I mean, Melvin, I mean, is there anything else?
Honestly, I don't think that we have a lot of time. You know, I could be kind of long-winded, but yeah.
I mean, that's impressive, man. Let's jump over to Mr. Best here. Tell us, what was that one thing? You know, I mean, you know, with me being your dad, I had a one thing that I thought about. But tell me, what was it?
Yeah. My story's a little different from Mel's here.
Go for it.
You know, me having both my parents growing up, it makes a big difference, you know, and it always and I can see now dealing with a lot of the kids, I can see how it does make a huge difference having your father and your mother, female or male. You really do need them.
Yeah.
And what else you need? You need great teachers. Also, your parents are your first teachers. You know, your parents are your first teachers. My dad taught me. My mom taught me. Also, teachers have taught me. Other gym school teachers I had, other coaches I had. One coach that comes in mind when I was in middle school, there's a guy by the name of Coach Mack. You know, he was a real big, heavy set guy, had real big guns. You know, one of those guys. Yeah, one of those guys. You know, just real intimidating. But he ran a program when we were in the East Coast for a while, and he ran a program where kids that couldn't make the basketball team, he still ran a inter school program where he brought like NBA teams and he had the kids like split up on teams like that, and he still had it to where you're playing like you're in the NBA. So they had the music playing, they had the Bulls music, the Bulls music they used to come out. And he had that. And you had the spotlight, and he did it all. He put out the whole thing, and that opened my eyes to say that you know what, that is needed everywhere. Something like that is needed everywhere. So, dealing with the Crease Foundation and San Leandro Lions, we took that and what I did was say, you know what, I'm going to get a bunch of kids together, and I'm just going to make a team. And with that team, it will build itself. For example, these two gentlemen here, they're high schoolers, and I asked them to make their own team. They go out there and grab their own players. I do not do any recruiting. I have these two gentlemen or whoever else is involved with the team go out and say, hey, would you like to be a part of this organization? This is what happens here. And not only am I strictly on kids as far as behavior, but I monitor their school.
Wow.
I really do. I show up at schools. I show up at Devon School often. I wish I could get over to Daniel School when I can, but Daniel does very well. I do keep an eye on. I talk to his mom and make sure that they're staying on task. Especially as young men, they need to stay on task.
No, Coach Best spoke admirably about you two, okay? So we're gonna put you on the table right now. So Devon, tell us, when did you first meet Coach Best?
Well, I met Coach Jensen about 2.5 years ago. My little brother had played with this organization, and he told me, because I played basketball right with him, and he was like, you should come to practice one day. So then that's when I first met Coach Jensen, and then ever since then we've just been moving forward. And when I first met him, my grades was, I had a .7.
Okay.
And then, I started playing basketball, and he started coming to my school, talking to my teachers and helping me out. And I'm a 3.3 student.
Wow.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah, so that's one thing I like about this organization is that usually the soldiers and the rebels, all them other teams, you just have coaches that just want to win games and stuff. They don't really care about how you do in school because you don't need grades for AAU. But this organization, it don't just help you in basketball. It helps you in grades and stuff and help you about life skills and stuff. He actually comes up to the school and talks to my teacher, and if I don't have over a 2.5, I can't play.
Wow.
Yeah, so I just think that this team really helps you, not just on basketball, just on life, period.
Great. Now, come on, Daniel, let's see. When did you first meet Coach Jensen, as they call him there?
Well, I met Coach Jensen when it was a long time ago. I think I was 7 or 8 because I used to play at the Boys and Girls Club of San Leandro, and he was one of the coaches there. And ever since we first met, he's been a constant presence in my life. And he's just one part of my support system because, like Coach Jensen said, if you grow up in a 2-parent household, it really helps you out in your development, which I do. So he's one of those people in my support groups, like my mother and my father. And those 3 people have been a constant presence, and without them, I don't know where I would be. Because when you grow up in an inner city area, anything can happen at any moment, and how you deal with those things can really help your development going forward. So I'm really happy that I can have Coach Jensen and my mother and my father and other people in my life be there to support me. So since I was a little kid, nonetheless, so I'm really happy to have them in my life.
Well, that is really something. That's well spoken, young men, in regards to the men that's in your life, and well spoken about the things that you've seen in your life. Now, tell America. This comes back to you two. Tell America a little bit more about programs that you're involved with to advance these children. Programs that you're involved with to give more visibility to the youth in the community. Tell America about that. Tell us.
And so in Oakland, there's an organization that I've been serving with for a little bit over 4 years now. That organization is called Juma Ventures. It's a phenomenal organization. It's a social enterprise, both for-profit and non-for-profit altogether. And so where the Oakland A's play the Raiders, the 49ers, the Giants, we have other teams throughout the nation too that we support. Our youth, they serve in the concessionaries. So we have concessionaries where they sell coffee, corn dogs, tea. And they start out making $9.15 an hour, which isn't bad part-time for a young person. But we don't stop there, right? We take it a step further. And so we also provide financial literacy and assets building for these youth as well. And so, teaching them, like, this is how you read a check. This is why you should save money. This is how you budget, so that at the end of the month, you're not broke. Because in some of our youth, in their households, that practice of money management may not be there. And so by us teaching the youth, the hope and the goal is that they're also able to teach it to their siblings and their parents as well. And so we also provide them what's called a IDA match savings opportunity, where if they save $1, we will match them $2 for $1. So the cap goal that they can get is $1,000 towards savings. And so we'll match them $2,000 for $1,000, giving them $3,000 for their first year of college. Which isn't bad at all, right?
Fantastic.
Yeah. And so, but we don't stop there. We take it a step further too. And so it's the college access piece. It's like my brother was talking here, when he met you, his GPA was low. And then as a result of having someone in his life, staying on top of him, making sure that he's doing what he needs to do, because he has that support, someone's holding them accountable, right? And so that GPA skyrockets because our kids, they're not slow. Our kids are not dumb. Like they're smart. They're geniuses. They're geniuses. And so if they don't have that support, then it's easy to kind of veer off track, so to speak. And so another thing that we do is we make sure that our kids are on track with their A through G standards, making sure that they're eligible for the CSUs, for the UCs. And in most cases, what tends to happen is a lot of our youth, from the high schools that they go to, especially here in Oakland, their counselors may not be talking to them about A through G requirements. In some cases, some schools that I've visited, I've had some tell me, hey, like, what are the A through Gs? Does this class match up? And you're trying to advise my student. And so it's important that our students know how to read a transcript, know how to review a transcript, so that they can advocate for themselves, so they can make sure that they're picking the right classes for the colleges and the universities that they're interested in. And so we teach them these things. We make sure that we're staying on top of them with their GPAs, and we push for scholarships. Like I'll tell students, like 30 scholarships, applying for 30 scholarships isn't enough, right? And just because you apply for 30, it doesn't guarantee you one. Right? Go for 60 and beyond. Do that. Get involved in your community. Get involved in leadership early on, like my brother's here. And it's great that you're pushing that leadership piece on them young, because when they're writing their personal statements, when they're writing their scholarships, like they're able to put this in their stories, which makes them more qualifiable candidates for these schools that they're interested in. So with the organization, that's what we make sure that we do. What my brother was talking here earlier about was how do you handle your emotions? Right, because the neighborhoods that a lot of us live in, we're dealing with crime, we're dealing with prostitution, we're dealing with drugs, we're dealing with gang activity. Like there's so much going on, and it's like I go to class and I've just walked through all of that. How do you expect me to be focused? How do you expect me to be okay, in your class? And I was just assaulted before coming into class. But because I'm expected not to say anything, because there's an image I need to uphold, I have to keep it to myself, right? So being able to work with our students and giving them an opportunity to vent, to articulate like themselves and let that piece come out so we can support them. So with the organization that I've been fortunate to serve with, for the past 3 years, I've had a 100% success rate, getting my kids through high school, helping to get them through and into and through college. And that's pretty much what we do.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
We're gonna come back and get a couple of names of people that can pass through. So grab that one or two
yes,
students'
yes,
names.
yes.
And let's go over to you there, Jensen Best. Tell America a little bit about the programs that you've implemented to move these guys forward. Now, they didn't say they got forward doing some things by listening to you. Tell us the things you're doing to make it happen.
Like I said, we're a 501c3. We are a nonprofit, the Creech Foundation, and we have besides the San Leandro Lions, there's other things that branches. We have a music program, where which is ran by a colleague of mine, TJ, and that is out of Southern, like that's South, like San Jose, Sunnyvale, down in that area.
Okay.
We also do tutoring. We offered a lot of our kids tutoring sessions. Some of them do come and get some type of tutoring in. That is going to be more so during the summer, because a lot of kids are out of school during that time. So they kind of take a step back from the whole educational side of it, which happens a lot, which I want to get out of. You still want to have them thinking and writing and all that stuff during the summer, because it gets harder that next semester coming up. It doesn't get easier for you.
Right.
It's like how I tell my kids in the game. As the game goes on, it gets harder. It's
true.
Like the fourth quarter is the hardest quarter, not the first quarter. So it just and that's life. Life
Right.
doesn't get easy on you. It's more challenging as you get older. Like I tell my kids here. But besides that, the other programs we do, I do it like a skills and drills, where I have I rent out a gym, and I have a bunch of kids come through and they just work on their fundamental skills. Ball handling, shooting, and we also break for about 30 minutes and go over trivia. We have a trivia time.
Okay.
Yeah, and I quiz the kids, because you cannot play if you do not know who invented basketball. If you do not know Dr. James Naismith invented basketball, don't jump on the court. So those like my kindergartners know who invented basketball. They would tell you.
big.
So I mean, it's real fun. We just came from a kindergarten through fifth grade game.
Right.
These guys, I have them help me out. I have Devon. I have him, helping with the balls and writing some plays down. Daniel, I want to get Daniel into coaching. Daniel's very, very. I could see it in him. I can really see it in him. I've been around him since the Boys and Girls Club, and he's always wanted to, tell people where to go and stuff like that, which is good. It's good. He's a director out there. But this is the actual first time Daniel has played with me, like on a team. But I've always been around him. Gym rat, as you call it, which is good. It's real good. Gym rat is not a bad term. It's like saying the kid is always in the gym. He has grades to play, et cetera, et cetera. But those are just some of the programs that we do, with the nonprofit organization, the music program, the tutoring, and then I will be starting the skills and drills. And we also have a 3-on-3 tournament that we do, and we do a lot of fundraising events like car washes, and we do like bowling nights for the kids, take the kids out, have them bowl, the skating party, just little things just to build the camaraderie between the youth. Because that's what's lacking too. You got all these texts and all this other stuff, but the talking camaraderie, like if I'm having a conversation.
Right.
So as we're starting to wrap things up, I want to just get two other quick things out of you. You gotta be really quick here to get it out. So I want these guys to kind of piggyback in here. I'm just thinking, you talked about plans of what you're doing. You talked about structure of how you're doing it. So what can America do to help you bring the youth forward? What can we do? What can America do? Tell us.
Oh,
Heck of a
God.
question,
That's a big
It's a
question.
laundry list.
Yeah. Let me grab my novel really quick.
Okay, so pick me one thing.
Yeah.
Just give me one.
So it's not so much what America can do for me, but what America can do for their own youth, for our youth. I'm a strong believer in that it takes a village to raise a child. Sometimes we get in our cars and we're driving, through our neighborhoods, and we pass kids, and it's like, do we take the time to stop and say like, hey brother, like how you doing? Like how's your day going? Like is there any way that I can support you? Sometimes with youth that I'll talk to, like that are not even affiliated with my program, like, hey, what are you interested in? What are your goals in life? What are you trying to aspire to? Is there any way I can connect you? So I think what can happen is folks can make themselves more available to the young people,
you go.
especially
There you
here
go.
in the East Bay. For a lot of the young people that I talk to, they say that, I feel invisible. I feel like people are not even taking the time to see me or even acknowledge me. You see, deals being made, plans being made to like redistrict cities, where we have a lot of our young people that are being literally pushed out, right? So a lot of our young, underserved youth, they're being pushed out to places like Modesto, Stockton, Antioch. And it's like, this is a lot of our knowledge capital leaving.
Wow.
And we need that. We need that. We need that culture here, right? So what I would love to urge is for folks to take the time to grab our young people and bring them in.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And yourself, Mr. Beth?
I second you so much because me, Devon, Daniel, a bunch of other kids that we're planning on going on we go to Reno every year, which is the big Jam On tournament that happens in Reno, Nevada. Thousands and thousands of teams show up. We have to raise $8,000+ just to take 3 teams to Reno, and so one of the things that we do besides the car washes and everything, we sell candy bars, the chocolate bars, the famous chocolate bars, the world's famous, and the world's finest, the world's finest. And where we go to Warriors games, and we sit at the Warriors game and ask, donations for all those thousands and thousands of people that paid $200 to $300 for those Warrior tickets. So we did that on Thursday night, correct? Yep. I have a video of probably about 1,000 and thousands of people that walk right past 3 kids asking for a donation of $1. $1 to help them advance themselves. Right. But you would just walk right by a bunch of kids. That troubled me at the same time. I really couldn't believe it. Some people I had to put on blast. I just had to say, you gotta be kidding me. You just paid $3,000 for a ticket, but you can't give them $1.
Well, I blast you on that one. Hey, you guys, 30 seconds. For you, Devon, give me something that you feel the community or America can do to make your life change.
Well, they could start by giving the schools more money, like for the books and stuff, because some kids like can't focus and stuff because the books will be like torn apart and stuff. So we just need more money to go to the school districts.
Very good observation. More books. How about you, Daniel?
I think Coach Jensen put it best. Like, you need to pay more attention to the youth because, like, how people walk past them when they were selling chocolates, that's like a metaphor for how a lot of the kids go through life, just with everybody passing them by and nobody's really paying attention to them. Wow. So in order to help us out, you have to know us first. You have to know about us. You have to learn who we are and where we come from and the struggles that the kids go through in order to provide us some help, man, because it's hard out there. But with the youth leaders out here and these 2 fine men, I feel like the youth are well off if people can just help us out. So we're well off.
So there you heard it. A lot of folks are talking and saying things about the youth, but you're hearing it straight from the youth mouth. We want better educational materials. We want you to speak to us. We want you to look at us. We want you to acknowledge us. We want you to be like Melvin and Jensen. And it's not hard. No. You know what? I want to thank you guys for coming on out today, Melvin. It was a pleasure, sir.
Thank you for having us.
And Mr. Best, it was a pleasure. Devon, Daniel. Oh, before we go, real quick, tell people how they can get in contact with you.
Yes, and so let's see. So you can contact me via email at melvin.e.cowan@gmail.com. I speak to young people, colleges, universities, high schools, middle schools. Just put me in front of a class and I'll motivate your youth and give them practical tools that they can use to move themselves forward. And so I'm really passionate about youth and youth development. And so that's where you can find me.
One more time, give them that address.
Yes. All right. So it's Melvin, melvin.cowan@gmail.com.
Fantastic. And you, Mr. Best, how they get in contact with you?
You can reach me at www.sanleandrolionsbasketball.com. You could also go in there and donate. We have a donate button there. You can also reach me at, I'm sorry, I had to cough there. You can also reach us there at the office. We are in San Leandro, Aurora Suite. They will put up the address as the credits go up. However, but you can go to the website and just get me directly. My telephone number is on there. My Gmail is on there. Everything is on there. Also, you can go to the creasefoundation.org, and that also branches off to the San Leandro's website.
Okay, 5 seconds, guys. Give us your opinion about what you feel you accomplished here today. 5 seconds, go.
I feel like I accomplished my to get my word out there, so let people know what we want, what we need in our community and stuff.
I agree totally with Devon. Like, by putting your voice out there and letting it be known what you want and what you need for support, I think that's all we accomplished here today, and I think that's what we needed to accomplish.
Great, great. And what did you accomplish today, America? Well, I think we got a message from the youth. And what I want to leave you with is the fact that here at Keep It Real America, we say, be the change. Don't be the same. And I'm your host, Rodney L. Best, and I'll see you the next time.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Mike, can you bring everybody out? We're gonna get a quick shot of everybody while we got the cameras rolling.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Come on, get in the back. Come on, Nate. Yeah, guys, just come on back right back here.
He just photobombed you.
She photobombed
Do
us.
I do some cleanup? I need to clean up? Uh-oh. We gotta re-edit you? Picture's not good. You gotta come on, Cindy. Jump in.
Wasn't sure who I was supposed to look at.
Oh, here. One last one, guys.
I can just send you mine. Can I just
Oh,
send
yeah,
you
here you
mine?
go.
Yeah, make sure they look right, and that's not
Thank you very much, everybody.
But I have them
Cindy?
too.
Oh, okay.